Hey, it's Rob from Centercode, and today we're going to talk about dashboards. So this is a Delta only feature, so if you're on the beta edition, sorry you don't get access to this, but we encourage you to upgrade as this really kind of unlocks the potential of the platform when you get impact scoring and the ability to kind of see what's going on under the hood. So I'm going to do things a little different this time. I'm actually going to show you a live project that we are running. This is all real data, real people that are in here. I may switch back to my demo project just to protect, the names and identity of some people for some of these dashboards. But I want you to know, like, even our own product, the release of these editions, we internally tested using our own tool as part of a dogfooding test, which was really helpful. Just one from a company culture standpoint to get all of our employees in testing our own product, using our own product to test our own product, was really fun and really enjoyable. So here we are. This is the project overview dashboard. This is where I would spend, 80% of my time when I'm managing a project. And at the top, we have our three primary KPIs, or key performance indicators, our Delta Health, Success, and Impact. So I'm going to click on this little eye here, which you could do at any time if you need a refresher. And it's going to explain what each of these KPIs are. So think of health as engagement. It's what we're getting out of our testers. We base it on your tester target, and they need to get feedback submitted and complete activities. Half the score comes from each of those things. So if you have a bunch of feedback and nobody's doing activities, you're not going to get a very good score, and the inverse is true as well. Think of health as how good the test itself is running. And it's not about how good the product is. The product is assessed under success. So think about, if we put the product out to market today, how good would it do? It's on a scale from 0 to 100, with 100 being better, 0 being the worst. And it's going to be relative. It's going to depend on where your product fits into the market, what testers' expectations are. It's something that becomes increasingly more valuable as you run more tests, particularly with your testers. And you start to see, well, hey, my budget level product did only a little bit worse than my premium product, or, my premium product only did a little bit better than my budget product. Maybe we need to kind of reassess what features we're giving to each product there. And then test impact is really cool. This is when testers submit issues or ideas, they're kind of looked at as a negative on the product. It's, they're looking for something that you're not providing, whether it's a bug or whether it's a feature that's not present. If you then decide to go in and make an update to that and implement an idea or fix a bug, you can select during the status dropdown that you've fixed it. And that'll recategorize the feedback and will recalculate the success score and compare it to if you did fix it or didn't fix it. And we display that as the test impact. So it really lets you see what the return on investment it is for your product that is currently under test. You can see I ran a 1-week test here on our own launch, and we got a 17% return on there. And so really, really great. And it's neat to see that broken out. So here we are at the top of the project overview dashboard. We can also see the ratio of issues, ideas, and praise right here, which is kind of the main driver of this success score. We can see our satisfaction score across the entire project. And I'm going to kind of go a little faster here because we're going to see the same panel a few times. We're then going to see all the feedback here. So I'm going to collapse this. You can see we've got 4 blocking issues, 56 issues, 69 ideas, and 10 pieces of praise. I can see where my feedback is falling out, my satisfaction, and then what Ted did for us. This is, even to our own company, over the course of testing, Ted sent out 300 emails. It made 46 activities get reviewed. 26 of them then got completed directly from the email, and then 8 of them turned into actual feedback submissions. That's feedback we would not have had if we didn't run Ted. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on Project Overview, and I'm going to click on Getting Started, which is our first phase of testing. Exact same view. We're just zoomed in a little bit to that specific phase. We can see this phase did pretty good. I won't go through all of these, but all of those fields exist the same way. You can dive into the feedback here if you prefer to do it that way. It'll be sorted by impact score to make it a little easier to see what the top pieces of feedback are. Here you can see we had some fixed issues that came in during our test. And then we could take it even further if we wanted. I could click on sign up in particular and see how that exact feature did, all the issues and whatnot that were surrounded there. The other really cool thing about dashboards, We have some controls. So if you wanted to filter, you could filter down to specific date ranges or feedback types just to highlight those. If you wanted to print this to PDF, you could. And something that's really helpful when you do that is to click on detail mode, which is going to let you replace all those ratio-based things that might be kind of hard to figure out in printed format with just normalized size, and we display the physical numbers for each of them. We've got some feedback card mode, which essentially expands and contracts all the different feedback that we see. So here's a normal one. I could click this. It would open all of these up, and then you could manually close them if you wanted to. Full width if you're on a widescreen monitor. And then one of my favorite features, because I hate building PowerPoints, is I could click on presentation mode and it'll actually generate a very PowerPoint-like experience for me that I can cycle through. That's really neat. All these fields are still fully interactable like you would expect. And it just makes briefing your teams really easy. I'm going to exit out of there, and then I'm going to go down to the Delta Huddle dashboard, which is our tool that we use to kind of support the Agile process. It's designed around giving your whole team a snapshot of what's going on. And right now I'm in the live view, but I could go backwards to see, what did the Delta Huddle look like when we closed out our getting started phase of testing, if we ever wanted to look at that for historical. For now, I'm going to keep it on live. And here we are. We get a general status update of what's going on. We review the test plan, what happened last week when we closed out the test, what's going on right now. We're on a break, so we don't have anything happening at the moment. And then what's going to happen in our next one. So I haven't gotten to adding any features for our next phase of testing. It's a good opportunity to. And if we got there, I could click on this, and as a group, we could add more features. We then go down to feedback review. Here's a great example. This is taking up a lot of space. I can just click on feedback card, collapse them all. And these are our blocking issues. So we're going to go over the blockers with our team. Then we're going to go through team review, which is anything that I have as a project manager have marked for review. Maybe it's not the highest, impact scoring piece of feedback, but I think that we should talk about it. Then we have the priority feedback. This is just straight up within the date range of this huddle. What is the highest impact scoring feedback that comes in? The great news is I don't have any issues in here, so we're doing good. We then have rising feedback. This is based on kind of viral growth of the feedback. Given that we're on a hold right now, we haven't gotten any feedback in the last week. So there's nothing to display. But this is an example where maybe you have a really long running project and it's hard for a piece of feedback to rise to the top. This viral growth will get highlighted and brought up here. Anything that you addressed, so we give a pat on the back to the team for what we fixed, and then we round it out with kind of a congratulatory, here's the praise that people love, what they submitted over the last week that really made them excited about the product. So really neat stuff. There's also a couple of fun odds and ends in here. Once you've started to run a few projects, product success is really helpful. This is where you're targeting a very specific success score, and it'll tell you this is what you need to do to get there. Maybe I only wanted to address the top 8% of my feedback. That would take me to a product success of 60. And I could say, hey, these are the pieces of feedback that I need to address to get there. Or, let's say that I had a metric. I needed to get to 82 because I've run several tests. That means that you're going to have to address 52% of your feedback. And that's what it looks like. So really cool. And then the last fun one that I'll show you is just kind of some top testers. We use this within our company just to highlight high performance. You can see we had 3 individuals do really well on our test here and score quite a bit higher than everyone else at their impact scoring. So it's really fun just to kind of to see this play out within your company. And we have a lot of joking inside. So that's a quick look at all of our dashboards. There's a whole lot more to include. I'll include a link down below with a more detailed breakdown of each of those. But this should get you up and running really fast, and I hope it helps you out. Happy testing.